To blessings, peace and blessings to everyone. What is going on? Mr. Marcus Easy. What's up? Hey, Mr. Easy, Mr. Marcus is here. How you guys doing? Peace and blessing from the Most High. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. All right. How you doing, Mr. Easy? Mr. Joseph, the man, the myth, and the legend is here, y'all. How are you doing, sir? How are you, Mr. Joseph? I'm doing fine. I am doing fine. Let me see how many people we got on to live tonight. We got 3. I'm just waiting on one more person to come. And we can get on with the stories. I got some good stories for y'all today. On the economic collapse, man, things are looking bad. Oh, wow, you say you was at the police station here. I was in the police station. Wow. Easy, where are you? Are you in Colombia, Brazil, or are you back in your own country? Where are you? Oh, you're in Salvador. Okay. Okay. Wow. You know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do, I'm going to do one more live stream off of StreamYard. Easy. And we're gonna stream on it Thursday. Okay? We're gonna stream on it Thursday. And then probably after that, StreamYard will be gone for a while. StreamYard is costing me $45 a month to use. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, I'm not. It seems like the YouTube algorithm love it this way better than StreamYard. I don't know why. It's like I'm not reaching nobody. I get maybe 4 people that comes on the live on StreamYard, but here I could get over a dozen or maybe sometimes 20. I don't know. I don't know why StreamYard is doing this. Yeah, DC Rob put a video out talking about more foreign men deport. Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna talk about there was another guy that was scammed out of $280,000 in Thailand again. I have never seen so many people getting scammed like this. This is a really sad situation. A guy lost $280,000. I call this the fleecing of America. That's what I call it. There used to be a show on NBC News called The Fleecing of America. That's what I'm be calling this channel, The Fleecing. Yeah, easy $280,000. Yep. Yep. And I did a story on last week about a guy that lost $300,000. But what's so sad about his situation, he never even met the girl. He did it on the Ukrainian website, romance to a website. And he actually spent 300,000 American dollars. I never met the girl. Never got no cat, never got nothing from her, never went on a date with her, nothing. Absolutely nothing. He just spent $300,000. Yeah, but they are turning people away. Yeah, you're right. It is just crazy. 79. Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah. And he never got none. Nothing. Not even a kiss. Nothing. 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 Only thing he got was somebody supposed to be somebody that he thought there was somebody on the website. He didn't even know if the person was really real. He really actually found out that the person that he was talking to wasn't the person that he was talking to. But I told you guys about these scams. Two types of scams: real romance scams and fake romance scams. I told y'all about this. The fake romance scams is people that you never met. They corresponded with you maybe on the phone or maybe on the internet, but they never show their face. You never know who they are, and people still send money to these people anyway. And you got the real romance scam is when you actually met the person, you actually sat with the person, you actually have physical contact with the person, but they're still scamming you anyway. So you got different scams out there. You got some scams that they do show who they are. You build with them, because I've been with people who tried to scam me before. Mm-hmm. Most of the time it is some guy behind it. Usually be her and the boyfriend that's in cahoots together that's making the scam. Yep. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that tonight. And we're going to break down that story on how this situation happened. And you know what I don't understand? A lot of these people are very intelligent people. They've never done this in their own country, but when they go to Brazil, when they go to Colombia, when they go to Thailand, it's like they just take all their safety blinders off. They take everything, or they just fall in love with the girl and just open themselves up to being taken advantage of. I don't really quite understand that. Okay, I'm sure we got 9 people in the chat. In the chat, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Peace and blessings to everybody. Peace and blessing. Okay, I'm just going to do the economic collapse, letting you know what's going on in the economy today. And then we're going to go over and then we're going to talk about the thing that's happening in Colombia. And I'm going to tell you why this is happening in Colombia. And I would really love to go to the Razor Ray show. I left a message on his phone, but I don't know if he ever got the message or anything. But if y'all ever talk to Razor Ray, tell him I tried to put a message out for him. But I would love to go and tell people why Colombia is turning people away. I know exactly what is going on because let me tell you, 8 years ago, I'm not making this up, guys. I am not making this up. 8 years ago, I have alarmed content creators. I have alarmed them that the content that you are putting out is going to have repercussions. It's going to have repercussions. But they didn't listen to me. Nobody listened to me. I mean, I used to go on Facebook groups and I would tell the administrator that have control over these groups about the type of content and streaming that they were doing was extremely disrespectful to those countries. And I told them, I say, if you keep doing this, they are going to rebel eventually. Because see, back in the Charles, I come from the Charles Tyler days. Okay, that's where I come from. I come from the Charles. Before he passed away, before Charles Tyler passed away, what we used to talk about entrepreneurship, living abroad. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of the matrix. He would call the United States the matrix. And then not only that, he would have people that would come on the show and they would tell you ways on how to escape the matrix. Forex trading, real estate, have an online business, having an ATM business. He used to have all these people coming on and telling you, what can you do to live abroad? How can you live abroad, you know what I'm saying, successfully, you know? And when he passed away, then things began to fall apart. Other people took over. And then these Pookies and Ray Rays, when they heard about what was going on in Colombia, what was going on in the DR, then they changed they changed the tourism and leaving the matrix into sex tourism. That's how things got bad. They changed everything from an entrepreneur, what the passport bros supposed to be doing. They changed everything into sex tourism. And when I saw this, I tried to contact them. I say, please do not put these Colombian videos on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, because you have people that's very high up, okay, in these countries that watch these videos. And I say it's going to be in a matter of time before they start rebelling about what you are putting on social media. I told them this. I told them this over and over and over and over again. People called me stupid. People said I didn't know what I was talking about. People called me an old man. People made fun of me. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. I've been talking about this for the last 8 years. I've seen this was going to come to this. Now it's here. It's here now. So what they're telling you, they don't want you in their country. So not only does it make it bad for you, it makes it bad for me. Because let me tell you what they did to me at the immigration line, at migration, Colombian migration. One time I arrived in Medellin, right? I had my bag that I take off the plane. So you wait for your other bag to come around that belt that, when your luggage come through there, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a belt that goes around that all your luggage sits on that comes off the plane, right? They have everybody's luggage. I can't remember the name of that. Somebody help me out on the live. Tell me what that is. I can't remember what that is. But I couldn't find my bag, right? So I went to one of the airport employees. I said, you know what? I cannot find my bag. Okay, where is my bag? You know what they did with my bag? They took it. They took it to the special room in migration. It's a special room they have back there. I had to go back there and ask for where's my bag. Because in that bag, I have my deodorant, I have my toothpaste, I have all my stuff, my personal stuff, shower gel, all that stuff, my shavers, all that stuff, I keep in that bag. Because on the airplane, they don't allow you to bring certain items on the plane. You know what they was doing with that bag? They went right through my bag, was looking to see what was in that bag. That's what they were doing. Let me see. Read some of these comments. This property had a guy named Uncle Jay who was black and built his own hotel building in Cartagena. The other nights on the channel, his channel, there are many people building. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Chris. That's what the passport bro movement should be doing. That's what it should be doing. Because during the Charles Tyler era that I came up in, there was a guy in Sasua, okay? He was building multiple Airbnbs. And he would tell you step by step how to purchase real estate for little of nothing. Well, I'm not saying a little, but nothing. You gotta have something, and then turn around and rent it out and make a residual income. That's what we used to talk about. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We have rarely even talked about girls. We very rarely even talked about girls. Sometimes we bring up, chicos and, maybe in the conversation, but not really. Everything on that Charles Tyler's group was all about entrepreneur, about building something tangible. Why you go abroad, why you go to Brazil, why when you go to Sasua or Colombia or any of these places. I learned a lot from the channel. But then when he passed away, then everything started going left. Then I started seeing things like where's all this coming from? Like there was one guy, I never will forget this. He had a working girl. He was at a hotel and he had a working girl in the elevator, a Colombian working girl. And he was just bragging and boasting and say, "Oh, look what I got! Like, well, man, I spent $25 for this home. Oh man, look at this! Look at what I got! Oh wow, look at this! Ooh wee, man! Ooh, look at this!" Groping all over her, touching her in the elevator, and he filmed it. But that idiot was streaming from Facebook. I said, "Do you know you got Colombians that watches Facebook? Do you know you got people that's very high up in government that watch these videos?" But what do? They ignore me. They ignore me. And you still got people right now today that's still putting out bad content about Colombia. I'm not going to mention his name. I think it's wrong. I'm not sitting here trying to be self righteous or anything like that. I'm not trying to be self righteous. We all have made mistakes. But the most important thing is how you learn from these mistakes that you make. I think it's wrong. Me personally, there's nothing wrong with having females on your videos. I have I just posted a video of me Cookie going grocery shopping. But that's a respectful video. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going out to the beach with your girlfriend in Cartagena. There's nothing wrong with sitting down and having a nice dinner with your significant others in Medellin. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to the Barranquilla Carnival and seeing all the beautiful chicas and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem that they have is the exploitation of the females. I think it's wrong. I know somebody that does this. Not gonna mention no names because I don't troll anybody on this channel. I know someone, they get with these females, and these females are working girls, and he would take them and he would put them on his other account. What's the name of that account with YouTube people pay to watch stuff? I can't think of it right now. Man, my mind's getting worse. What do they call it? Patreon. Patreon. Oh, Chris. Chris, I'm not saying nothing. Chris, I'm not saying nothing. But I think it's wrong to exploit those women that way. You're making a profit off of working girls. That's wrong. Because let me tell you the reason why I believe that it's wrong. In those countries like the DR, Costa Rica, Colombia, and Latin America, a lot of those countries are very, very poor. They're very poor. Those women are very poor. And I have talked to very poor women in Colombia. I know some right now. And some of them, they live in a perpetual state of poverty. Some of them, it's like one girl described to me and said, it's like being in quicksand. You try to get out, but it's always pulling you back in. Because one thing I must admit about the United States, this country, we have more opportunities here than we have than any other place in the world. But when it is exploration and selling service, yeah, it's wrong because it disrespects. Traveling is supposed to be fun. Yeah, traveling is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. But I just think I think it's wrong to profit from somebody's unfortunate situation. Because some of these women, that's the only way they survive. I couldn't do it myself and just be honest. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with having females on your videos. I'm not saying not to do that. But trying to exploit them for profit is wrong. And that's what's pissing Gustavo Petro and the mayor of Medellin. That's what's pissing them off because now it's coming to the point of exploitation. It's exploitation. And then not only people are boasting about it, that, oh my God, man, I smashed this girl in less than man. She only cost $15, man. Man, y'all paying too much. And they talking about this stuff right on YouTube. And YouTube is trying to break this mess up too. They are. I've been hearing that certain content creators that create this stuff are complaining that their views are going down. Exploitation, easy, is when you're profiting after somebody else's misfortune. That's exploitation. Like I may meet a fine, beautiful chica, and she's a working girl, and I come to her and say, hey, I'll pay you such and such a dollar if you come on my, you know, if you come on my video, my Patreon. There was a guy that was doing it in Korea. A black dude was doing that in Korea. He would, but I think they kicked him out. They kicked him out of Korea. Not North Korea, but South Korea. He would date these Asian women and everything, and he would exploit them. And then he'd turn around on his video and tell us that if you want to see more intimate details, come to my Patreon account. That is wrong, guys. I couldn't do nothing like that. I don't want to have anything to do with that type of content. But guess what? It's coming back to bite us now. Matter of fact, DC boy Rob just said, I think there was over 300 people that was turned away not too long ago. They are not playing. And let me let you hear what Kari HQ said. I listened to him because he lives there. Listen to what Kari HQ said. Listen to this, guys.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Kari.HQ here. Now, I keep getting messages from y'all about these airport seizures, searches, and people getting rejected here in Medellin when they're coming from places like the United States and Europe. So, first of all, the first thing I got to say about this, it's been publicized, seems to involve a guy with some weird things in their suitcase. So the first case, it was a lot of toys and whatnot. And then eventually they're popping dudes now for just having a bunch of condoms, it seems like. So I gotta ask you guys, how many condoms do y'all Negroes need?
A guy got caught with multiple boxes of condoms in his bag. Multiple boxes of condoms. And they caught him. And what they do is, let me tell you, when they catch you, with that, they put a strike on your passport. So even if you try to come to Colombia like through Barranquilla or through or any other city in Colombia, red flags will still go off and they will deny you entry. They are not playing around, man. And I said this a million. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. I've been preaching this. I've been preaching for 8 years about this. I was preaching about this when I first started going to Colombia. When I was with,
Y'all come out here. Like, it's literally dudes getting popped with like 5, 6, 7 boxes of condoms, like family packs. And that's what I'm seeing in the pictures when people are getting turned back. So another thing that's been reported is that there are these new angel watch lists that the police and migration authorities are using to catch all fools. I don't know much about what it takes to get on these angel watch lists, so if you know, drop in the comments. I think really what it is they're targeting people that their only motivation for coming to Medellin is for sex tourism. Now, in the past, the word was that sex tourism here was allowed and that they not promoted it, but that's something.
Sex tourism was allowed there. Sex tourism in Medellin and Parque Jarvis was allowed. It was allowed. But the problem is you put it on YouTube. You put your whole business, you put everything out there on YouTube for everybody to see what you're doing. I remember years ago, this before some of y'all were born. I'm the OG. I'm going to tell y'all some old school stuff. There used to be a commercial about Las Vegas. There used to be a commercial saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Because Vegas used to be the spot for working girls that used to go down there and indulge, and if that's the type of stuff you do. You used to be able to go to Vegas and do that. And believe it or not, they had it on the strip because I went to Vegas before. And when I was walking down the strip, they were handing you out these little pamphlets saying, if you want some company tonight, call 1-8 this. Or you go to the Bunny Ranch. There were some parts of Nevada that prostitution is legal. Is legal. But the problem is you never had a bunch of people. Back then, we didn't have social media. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have YouTube back in those days. But when people go to Vegas, you never hear them talk about what they used to do in Vegas.
That they legalized, right? And so I don't know if that has changed here in Medellin. Is it now illegal to involve yourself in sex tourism? That's something that you guys can talk about in the comments. But I know one thing that has really called this to the forefront, and that is the targeting of young women and young children when it comes to sex tourism. So,
And see, that's what really messed up when you had people coming down there exclusively for young children and young people. That just blew everything out. That just made things even worse. That made everything worse. So not only are these people are bad, now they say everybody's bad. Everybody's guilty now. But let me tell you something. If they would have found something in my bag that they took from me, I would have been banned from traveling to Colombia. If I had a box of condoms in that bag, if they would have saw that, they would have turned me away. I guarantee you they would have done it. And they were looking in my bag. They were looking in my bag. Let me see some of these. Let me read some of this. Let me see. Let's see. Yes, it's Europe. It's very, yeah, yep, in Europe it is. Certain parts of Europe. Maybe that guy was going to sell those boxes of protection on the black market, La Salelle, to get through the high import taxes. I don't know what he was doing, but it sure got him in trouble, Chris. It got him into a lot of trouble. Let's see. Marcus stepdads are not the biological dads. It's a difference. Dads are biological blood. Stepdads are not real dads, but they step up. They take more than DNA to be a father, take pride of being a dad. Absolutely. I agree with you on that, brother. See that, let me see, but they are not going to go there because they know that Vegas is expensive now. Yeah, Vegas is very expensive. Yes. Yes. Vegas is very expensive. I'm talking about hundreds of dollars. From what I heard, I'm not into this, S tourism or anything like that. But I heard in Vegas they go as high as $500. Very expensive. Very expensive. So they go down to these Latin American countries and they exploit the people. They say, oh wow, I could get it cheap down here. I could get it for $25, $15. I heard people talk like that. That's too bad.
that is something that should never be supported under any circumstances. Guys, the mayor of Medellin has even chimed in on this. And I think that as a whole, the Medellin people and the Colombian people are trying to send a message that maybe they're tired of sex tourism, or maybe they want to handle it a different way going forward. Y'all let me know. I want to hear from the Colombians on this. Are you guys going in the direction of banning sex tourism altogether? Or is that something that you guys want to keep as part of your economy? Because even in the United States, there are places where it's allowed. So it's not like it is disallowed everywhere across the world. So it's your boy. Let me know what y'all think.
Yep, there you go. Let me see what else did I miss anybody. Yeah, there was a video. 300 plus people was turned away. He said this yesterday. Yeah, 300 plus was turned away. Yeah. Then today, DC Rob said something about a new law about stepdads having to pay. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. The chickens are coming home to roost. Child support. Wow. So you had guys going out there having babies with these girls? Man, they really hate us, man. Oh, my God. Man, they're making us look bad. So is it getting to the point where guys is getting these girls locked up and not taking care of these girls? They're not taking care of their responsibilities? Thunder Briar, how you doing? What's up, Thunder Briar? How you doing? Giving you a shout. What's happening? Giving you a shout today. What's happening? What's happening? Easy. Working women should be legal, regulated, pay taxes like in Europe. Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna ever really not. I don't think that here in the United States they're gonna actually make it um, legal. I don't think they're gonna actually make it legal because there's too many people that won't pay taxes. You know, it'd be hard for them to. It'll be very hard for them to control it. Bruce, what's up? Bruce is here, y'all. They are coming after stepdads like in the. Oh wow, wow, they doing this. Oh my God, these must be really getting out of hand down there. Things are really getting really out of hand down there. If they talking about implementing a new law for child support, so you mean to tell me there's people going down there impregnating these girls and not taking care of their child support? This is getting bad. And you know what? It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to be hard for black men to go to Colombia now because that's all, because when I see the video, that's all I'm seeing. Now, I'm not saying it's not others that are being treated like this, but every time I see an arrest, when they line them up, it's all brothers are getting picked on. Because they picked on me twice. They picked on me twice. And that's never happened before. They took my bag off that conveyor belt that goes around with your luggage on there. And I had to go looking for my bag. And then when I looked, and they told me, oh, your bag is in this room back here. You have to come back here. When I was in migration. And they had my bag open. I could tell they went right through that bag. They went through my bag. They sure did. Because my bag was halfway open, you could tell the things were moved around. I'm telling you, if I would have had something in that bag, anything sexual that was in it, maybe it could have been some lingerie that I was bringing for somebody, or a two-piece, or a bikini, or anything. If they would have saw anything in that bag, they would have restricted me from entering into that country. They would have restricted me from coming into it. That's something. They do not want us there, man. It's gonna get worse too. Watch. What? It's gonna get to a point when people like me is not gonna be able to get in there. Watch. It's coming. Because the problem is you got people out there that can't keep their damn mouth shut. You got to blab all your business all around these females. What you doing with these females? And you boasting about it. Let's see. Let me read some more of these comments. Let me see. Anita said a long time ago that real biological dads don't have to pay child support because in Colombia they took away that she's a mother, you're her lover, she can take you for child. Yeah, I'm hearing now they get ready to change a lot of stuff, man. Marcus, they're getting ready to change a lot of stuff now. They are restricting of us coming down there. But they said that some things, single moms don't be using that money for the child. It's all for herself. And imagine how she would feel once she gets $1,000 a month of child support. Yep. Well, like I said, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And you gotta be more responsible with yourself when you go down there. You know what I'm saying? Having unprotected sex with these, man, I tell you. Taking a big chance. Taking big chances. Big chances. Let me see what else you're saying, Marcus. But the sad things are some of these single mothers don't be using that money. No, they don't. Yeah, I said that. Yep. They take the money and they get their hairs and their nails done. But very rarely they use it for the child. I've seen this happen before. That's why right today I don't pay any child support. I don't have any child, thank God. Because I have friends that had to go through this and it was a nightmare. There was one guy I remember years ago. I seen him outside of work. He was walking around looking very sad, just really just completely just looking down and looking dusty, just looking bad. I said, "Hey man, what's going on, man? What's up? What's happening?" He said that he had to pay 3 women for child support. When he get his check, every week the government takes out hundreds of dollars out of his check to pay 3 baby mamas child support. I said, when you get your check, how much do you have left over after they take child support and taxes and all that stuff? You know what he told me? He said he only had $60 left. $60? You can't even pay a light bill with $60. And that continues for the next 20 years. Let me see, another guy, Rob. Hey, Bandana Travel. Hey, man. Hey, what's up, man? I was on your channel the other day, brother. What is happening? What's happening? Another guy, Rob. What happened now? Well, Bandana, I'm talking about Colombia is putting a lot of restrictions on travel of people coming there visiting. They are turning people away. See, one thing I like about your channel, Bandana, everybody go subscribe to Bandana Travel's channel. One thing I like about your channel, Bandana, You do everything with taste. The chicos that you have in your video, no exploitation, nothing about sex, just feeding you. Delicious, delicious. That's all you do. You allow them to feed you, and you show them such very excellent. That's what I'm talking about. Please, guys, subscribe to Bandana Travels, his YouTube channel. He talks about a lot of good stuff on his channel, and he's very safe. He's never had no problems. Nobody tried to scope him, and he meet quality good females, but he don't exploit them. He never talks about sex. He never talks about coming to my Patreon and we can see more intimate details. You never see that from Bandana Travel. Never. Hey, Uncle Tony and my channel got to be out of a lot of trouble with Colombian police. Yeah. But Bandana, you know how to move in Cartagena. I don't think there's nobody can move better in Cartagena than you can. And I think maybe, what's that guy name? The Colombian guy, Carlos. But he lives there. But I think you do a good job, Bandana. I think you do a very good job. Yep, you keep it G-rated. Yep, that's what you do. Yes, sir. You keep it good, Bandana. I'm so proud of you. You never see Bandana talking about come to my Patreon, y'all. If you want to see some more intimate details, and they showing these girls, showing their rears, turning them around and all that stuff. So look at their rears. Bandana, he never do that. He had these nice, Bandana Travel had these nice shirts that the chicos be wearing. It looks really nice. It represented his channel, represented him very well. You keep doing what you're doing, Bandana, okay? And I promise you, I will get to Cartagena. I promise you. But Medellin has been keeping me, got me like a slave, man. Those chicos in Medellin got me like a slave. He showed me such a good time down there. Yeah, and I just like that. I mean, plus, one thing about that climate down there is perfect to me. It's just like, it just feel a different vibe. It's a different vibe down there. And they'd be so glad to see me. Every time I come, they just grab me. When I was there this September, the people behind the desk, from the desk, they come around there and give me a hug and everything. Oh, Tony, we're so glad to see you. We didn't think you were coming back. Yeah. They be giving me trays of food. They give me they say, do you want some water? Can we get you some water? Can we get you this? Can we get you that? Here's some lemonade. I know you're probably tired and everything. They treat me like a king because they know who I am. They know how respectful I am. They know I love the Colombian people. And I respect the people there. I do. I respect them. And always remember this too. If you're with a working girl, they say if you are with one, always show her respect. Always show her respect. Let me see, Bandana, thank you, Uncle Tom. Oh, anytime, nephew, anytime, brother. I'm always here for you. And you keep doing what you're doing. You have a very good channel, And I promise you, I'm going to come to Cartagena with you. I guarantee you. I promise you. But I got to break this spell of Medellin. I got to break that Medellin spell that has on me. He said, but yeah, you say you wait. He said, pull up. Maybe, you know what? Maybe one day what I do is, maybe one day I'll fly to maybe I'll fly to Cartagena first, maybe 1 week, and then fly over to, I could do Medellin and Cartagena at the same time. That's what I would have to do. But Bandana Travel, I'm thinking about, but it all depends on how my money is, though. But I would love to go to that carnival, though, the Barranquilla Carnival. I'm going to hook up with Ace. I'm going to talk to Ace, because Ace usually go every year. Yeah, you have to be careful with Medellin. Yes, yes. It's called altitude sickness. Yes, you have to be careful. You can't have a heart attack. Yes, you can. And I have told you guys before in other channels, I said before you go to certain parts of Latin America, like Peru or like Ecuador, or if you go into Colombia and Bogota or Medellin, I've talked about this before because on this channel, you always going to get the truth, okay? And the truth shall set you free. I'm going to always tell you the truth. If you want to come, if you want the truth, you came to the right channel, guys. You came to the right, you at the right channel. But yes, you can't have a heart attack in Medellin. You can't. Because the reason why is because you're above sea level. You know, the higher you go, I remember when I was there, there was a um, a foreigner. There was a tourist that was there. We were staying at the same resort, and he said sometimes the altitude sickness would get so bad for him until he couldn't come outside. He couldn't come outside. He had to stay inside inside of his room because he said he couldn't handle the breathing. So yeah, that is true. It can happen because I noticed one time too when I was walking to the store. It had just rained. It was just like it was just like this. The rain was just pouring down, and then after the rain, it got tremendously humid. The humidity was really high, and I'm not joking. It felt like when I walked outside, it felt like something heavy was on my chest. It felt like there was a heaviness on my chest. And then when I would walk, because in Poblado, everything goes up, everything goes up and down. You're walking up a hill, you're going down a hill. You're walking up a hill, it's like up and down. When you walk those hills, man, oh my God, man, it could be very exhausting. It could be very exhausting because I had went shopping one time. I went to the store and I had two bags in my hand. And I was walking up, man, when I was walking up the hill, I had to stop. I had to stop and catch my breath for a minute. And then somebody on my channel was really stupid saying, you need to lose some weight, man, you need to get in shape. No, it didn't have nothing to do with that. It has a lot to do with the atmosphere. The atmosphere is different. You go into a different climate, so the climate is different. And Barranquilla is the same. It gets like in July, Barranquilla gets very hot. It gets very hot. It can get very hot there. And let me tell you something. It was so hot that me and my girlfriend in Barranquilla, Esther, we spent most of the time inside with the air conditioner. If the Colombians are telling you it's too hot to be outside, then it's very hot. You know, so you have to know how to deal with those different type of climate. You know. Thank you for the gift for the party hat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Tiffany? How are you doing? Yes, I remember you, dear. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Okay, we're gonna get to this. Let me see. I got a video to share with you guys about this guy in Thailand that lost $280,000, and he was warned. He was warned. His friends tried to warn him, but he didn't listen. And it's just amazing how these foreigners are getting fleeced by foreign women with with their retirement and everything. Tiffany, I'm doing great. I am blessed. I am doing really great. Matter of fact, while I have everybody here on the live, I got some really important news I need to tell y'all on the next live. Let me see. This is Tuesday, right? And tomorrow's Wednesday. Okay, Thanksgiving is Thursday. Maybe Friday. I'll tell you guys Friday. I have some very, very important news that you guys need to know. I'm going to save it for the next live. So make sure y'all come back to get the news. This is very important. Very important. Jay, what's up, Jay? Jay is in the house. How you doing, brother? Happy Thanksgiving to you too, brother. Everybody on here, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. What I'm getting ready to do tomorrow, I'm gonna be cooking tomorrow. I'm cooking a bird tomorrow, but not a turkey though. But I'm cooking a bird. I'm making dressing. Stuffing. I'm making mac and cheese. Let me see what else I'm making. Mac and cheese, stuffing, and yams. Yes. Um, it's bad. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys something. I received some devastating news. You guys need to know, okay? But I'm not going to mention about on this live, so make sure y'all be on the next live to find out what's going on, okay? Okay. Let me see. Jay, what a big week for you. Your Lions beat the Giants, yes, but they lost against Philadelphia. So I guess there's still some hope, Jay. And got my defense coordinator fired last year. Oh, wow. Yeah, yes. But you guys have a big game against the Packers. You know what? If we win, you know what, Jay? If we win against the Packers, then there may be some hope for us this season. Maybe we might get a wild card. Maybe we will get a playoff spot. Um, yeah, so hopefully they'll win against the Packers. We'll see what happens. And I think they play on Thanksgiving, right? The Lions play the Packers on Thanksgiving, right, Jay? Yes, okay, right, okay. I'll be checking out that game. Okay, okay, let's start on this guy here who lost $200,000, $285,000 on a scam of a woman that he don't even know. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. When I play the sound, can y'all hear really good? When I play the video and the sound, can y'all hear it pretty well? Put yes in the comment section if you do. And make sure y'all hit the like. Yeah, you can hear. Okay, good. Okay. All right, here we go. And we're going to psychoanalyze this. And I'm going to give you my commentary, what I think, what went wrong. And the reason why I do this, I don't want to see nobody get used. You know, it takes 15 to 20 to 30 years to save up for retirement. But it's really sad when they lose it all within a week, within a month. This is actually happening. We work too hard and too long to lose everything. Here we go.
Promised me forever in Thailand. Because the truth is, I knew something was wrong months before she disappeared, and I kept sending money anyway. My name is Fletcher. I'm 44 years old, from Darwin, Northern Territory. For the past 15 years, I worked as a crane operator on remote mining sites across Australia. The money was good, really good, but the lifestyle was brutal. 2 weeks on, 1 week off. Living in dongas with blokes who'd rather drink than talk. Watching the same Netflix shows on repeat. I didn't realize how lonely I'd become. until she showed up. Before we start, let me know where you're watching from. I check every comment.
See, there he goes again, talking about the loneliness. The loneliness, look, we have to learn how to control that loneliness. We got to learn how to control that loneliness. There's nothing wrong with being lonely, but how you control it. Don't let it control you, you control it. Because stories after stories after stories after story, I hear about this loneliness that people feel.
And if stories like this hit close to
Be right
home,
back.
there's a super thanks button just below. Totally optional, but it helps me keep sharing the stuff most people are too ashamed to say out loud. By 2023, I'd saved up $280,000. Not bad for a guy who left school at 16, right? But here's the thing about mining money: you earn it in isolation, and you spend it the same way. My relationship with Sarah had ended 6 months earlier. 8 years together, and she told me I was emotionally unavailable. Maybe she was right. When you're operating heavy machinery 12 hours a day in 40-degree heat, you don't have much left for deep conversations about feelings. So there I was, single, cashed up, and tired of the Australian mining circuit. My mates were all talking about Thailand, cheap beer, beautiful women, tropical weather. You should go, Fletch, they'd say. Get yourself a nice Thai girl who'll appreciate you. Looking back, that advice was like handing a loaded gun to someone who'd never fired a shot. I booked a month in Thailand, telling myself it was just a holiday, but deep down, I was hoping for something more. Maybe a fresh start. Maybe someone who'd see value in a hard-working Aussie bloke with money in the bank.
And you see that they put too much expectation into something that they don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like all of my hope is built on what happens in Thailand. All of my hope is built on what happens in Colombia or Brazil. But you've never been to the place before, you know nothing about the people there, you know nothing. You haven't even done your homework. At least do your homework before you make a big decision about something like that. But I think the mistake that a lot of people make too, they have too much expectation. They create this fantasy that, this is the way how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like this, this, this. They paint the picture of what they want to see, but not what's really reality. And that's the first mistake that he made.
I landed in Bangkok in March 2023, and within a week I was in Phuket. The beaches, the food, the relaxed vibe, it was everything Darwin wasn't. I was staying at a decent resort, not some backpacker dive, and that's where I met her. Apina was working as a tour coordinator for luxury travel companies. She was 29, originally from Nakhon Ratchasima, and the first thing that struck me wasn't.
Well, actually, he did get advice, but he ignored the advice that people gave him. One thing I did before I went to Colombia for the first time, I did my homework, man, and I spent about a whole year learning the language, learning Spanish. And may my cousin, may he rest in peace, he told me a lot of things what I needed to know before I went down there. What to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, how not to put yourself in vulnerable situations. Because when you are a foreigner and when you go into a foreign country, you are being watched. You are being watched. Let me see. If he had a friend, why didn't they? Yeah, they did give him advice, Marcus. It's more to the story, too. All my hope is the country Kenya, Thailand, Philippines, Ghana, Colombia, Brazil. Find a way to remove the illusion of all those fronts, not just westernized fronts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What they see, the problem, what they do is they create their own narrative of how they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this beautiful Thai girl is gonna save me, and she's gonna, you know, make me feel, that loneliness that I feel. Well, I won't feel this anymore. That's what it is. It's the lone. It's the emptiness that they feel inside, and they're trying to fill that void. But nobody will be able to fill that void for you. You see that the problem that why red flags is bigger when you ignore and advise you. Yeah, it's gonna really bite him. Just listen. This is cold blooded. When y'all get ready to hear this situation here. When I heard about this situation, and this is true. This is true. I talk to people all the time, and this type of stuff happens all the time. There are guys right now are sending women thousands of dollars, paying their rent. Listen to Carlos. Listen to Carlos. He said the same thing. He said that some of these passport bros are sending these women money, paying for their rent. But not only are they paying rent for the girl, they're paying rent for the boyfriend too. And one thing he said, they don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. Always remember that. Those women do not belong to you. Their planes are leaving, their planes are coming in, and they playing the same game. The same game. To everybody. When you get those emails on Instagram, when you get those emails on Facebook, and they're asking you for money, I talked about this before. When they're asking you money like for $20 or for $25, they don't have no food. You could trust me, they're probably talking to 100 up to 200 other guys saying the same exact thing. So just imagine if they're talking to over 400 people and 10% send them $40. Think about it. But they give you that illusion that you're the only one that they're talking to. Anytime, Marcus, you're welcome, sir. See that today? Why the red flags are bigger? Yeah, but listen to what happens.
Her looks, though she was beautiful, it was how she spoke. Perfect English, university educated, and she knew more about Australian geography than most Australians I'd met. She could tell you about Kakadu National Park, the Gone Railway, even small mining towns I'd worked.
See, that's a scam right there because she was studying him. She knew that he was from Australia. She knew that he was from Australia. Okay? She knew about all the cities and surrounding cities of Australia. She knew geopolitics was going on in Australia. That should have been a red flag right there. Say, wait a minute, you're a Thai woman. How do you know so much about Australia? She said, oh, she knows everything. Wow, she really caught my attention. Oh, wow.
Worked in. You're from Darwin? She said when we first talked. I've always wanted to visit the Northern Territory. The wildlife, the Aboriginal culture, it must be incredible to live there. I was blown away.
Yep, absolutely,
There was
Jay.
someone who actually wanted to know about my life, my work, my country. Not just, oh, Australia, kangaroos and Crocodile Dundee, but real questions about what it was like to operate cranes in remote locations, about the indigenous communities I'd worked near, about the challenges of living in Australia's most isolated capital city. We spent hours talking that first night. She told me about her work coordinating tours for wealthy international clients, how she'd studied hospitality management at university, how her family ran a small transport business back in Nakhon Ratchasima.
You remember I told you the second red flag? Remember what I told y'all? Listen to the OG, okay? Listen to me, man. I've been doing this stuff for years. What certain women can do, they flatter you with words. They flatter. See, she looked at this guy. She studied him. He probably was there for a while. She's probably asking questions about this guy. Because how can a Thai woman know everything about Australia? Come on, come on, come on, come on. And in that detail, she was very detailed about Australia. But the second thing you have to worry about is the flatter that they do. They tell you like, "Oh, you're very handsome," because you don't have very many women here that tell you. When was? Let me ask you, everybody on this live. When was the last time a woman ever told you that you were handsome? When was the last time? Put it in the comment section. When was the last time that a female walked up to you and said, "Oh my God, you are a handsome fella"? How long has that been? The guys are fighting over you. They like your sweet words and more. Yeah, she flatters. That's what they do. They flatter. They tell you everything that you want to hear because they know that you don't get attention where you come from. Oh, that's good, Marcus.
Ima. She spoke 3 languages fluently and had genuine insights about international tourism trends. Most Western tourists come to Thailand looking for cheap everything, she said. But there's a market for authentic experiences, for people who want to understand our culture, not just party on the beach. I was impressed. This wasn't some bar girl looking for a quick payday. This was an educated woman with ambitions,
Wow.
someone who could hold her own in any conversation. We started seeing each other every day. She'd finish work,
Just how she presented herself as this educated woman, you know.
and we'd explore Phuket together. Not the tourist traps, but local markets, hidden temples, restaurants where no English was spoken. She'd translate for me, explain the history, make me feel like I was experiencing the real Thailand. The physical attraction was intense, but it was more than that. For the first time in years, I felt intellectually stimulated. She'd ask about my work, my dreams, my plans for the future. When I told her about the isolation of mining life, she listened with genuine empathy. "You're too intelligent for that work," she said one evening as we watched the sunset from Kata Beach. "You could do anything, live anywhere. Why limit yourself to those remote sites?" 2 weeks into my holiday, I extended my stay. A month became 6 weeks, then 2 months. I was burning through my savings on hotels and restaurants, but I didn't care. This felt like the beginning of something real. That's when Apina shared her dream with me. "I want to start my own tourism company," she said one evening over dinner. "Not just any
That's a red flag right there. You see that? That's when he should have ran as far as he can from that woman. When they start telling you, "Oh, I want to start my own business, I want to do this, I want to start my own tourism company," that's like an introduction of what they want from you. That's what that is. That's an introduction of what she wants from you. When she said that I want to start my own tourism business.
tours luxury adventure experiences for Australians and Americans who want authentic Thailand. I have the contacts, the knowledge, the language skills. I just need capital." She pulled out a folder professionally printed documents, financial projections, market analysis. This wasn't some
Did you hear that? Did you just hear that? She said she needs the capital. Wow, man. I don't see how he missed that. I don't see how he missed that. So you need the capital. I've been like, okay, do you got the capital? You know. So what she was doing was she was creating that illusion. She was creating an illusion, saying, I want to create this business. I need the capital. She's trying to tell him, she was creating these images of them being together, that we could start a business together. But all I need is the capital to do it. Something should have ran in his mind right then and there.
Scribbled napkin idea. She'd done her homework. Look at this, she said, spreading papers across the table. Australians spend $2.3 billion on Southeast Asian tourism.
How do you know so much about, what, the one thing I can say, how do you know so much about Australia? How does a Thai woman know so much about Australia? That should went in his mind too. Like, how do you know so much about Australia? And then she lays everything out in front of him like a portfolio. She just laying everything out there for him. I've been like, wait a minute, hold up. No. Mm-mm. No. Nope, not interested. Not interested in your portfolio, whatever this crap you got on the table. See you, but don't want to be you. Red flags is coming one after another. But what I find very fascinating, guys and girls, he stayed with her. Wow.
Most companies offer generic packages. I want to create bespoke experiences mining site tours for retired workers, cultural immersion programs, adventure activities that most tourists never hear about. The numbers looked impressive. Initial investment of $150,000, projected profits of $300,000 within 2 years. She had quotes from vehicle suppliers, licensing requirements, even preliminary agreements with local guides and accommodation providers. I've been saving for 3 years, she said, but I'm still $80,000 short.
You hear that? You hear that? But she says that she's $80,000 short. Oh my God. Wow. What he should have done, even if he was thinking about investing with this woman, what he should have done is do a background check on the female. Like, who is this woman? Who where she's from? If you're thinking about doing any type of investment with something, get you a lawyer, an attorney. Do some background check on what you're talking about. Do a background check on her first. Let me tell you something. If I'm thinking about getting serious with any female, whether it be in Brazil, Colombia, wherever it is, I'm going to do a background check. I'm going to do a background check. He should, when she said that she needed $80,000. $80,000 is a lot of freaking money. You know how long it takes for people to save up $80,000? Yeah, Jay, what he should have done, he should have did a background check on her first. And ask what's the name of her business. Give me a business card. And we got plenty of lawyers in the States that he could have paid to research the company and everything about this young lady, but he didn't even do that. And see, that's the part I see that seems to be so mysterious. Because this stuff is just common sense. I remember somebody said a long time ago, there's people that have sense, but they don't have common sense.
Expire next month, and there's another company trying to get the same permits. I felt my heart racing. This wasn't just about money, this was about building something together.
Building
Creating a
something
future that
together.
combined my Australian connections with her local expertise. What if I invested? I asked.
What you mean building something together? You don't have nothing together. You don't have nothing together with this woman. Nothing. See what I'm saying? These guys, they go out there to these countries and they create their own fantasies. They create their own realities. Saying, this is the way it's going to be, this is the way we're going to do, we're going to build this way, we're going to do this. That's a big mistake. I know sometimes we feel lonely and we feel, we get everybody wants somebody. We all want somebody. I do understand that. But you got to use common sense, though. You got to use common sense. At least do a background check on the female. You got plenty of lawyers in the United States that you could call, say, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about doing business with someone. Can you tell me about the individual and the business that they're in? I guarantee you they would have found out that she was a fraud. Let me see. Herself, let me see. He said, keep talking about together. This woman don't know anything about, but that's what I'm saying. Together, no homie is all for herself. Absolutely. But wait till you hear about what she does, though. Herself. Yeah, it's all about herself. Some of us do, but we keep it in daydreaming or going to bed, having a nice sleep and dream at home. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because let me tell you something. My last trip to Medellin with Cookie, it was like paradise. It was. I posted two, I don't know if y'all seen, but I posted 2 YouTube shorts of us in the city together. It was like paradise. But still, I had to use my common sense, though. I still didn't leave money around her. I still didn't leave my drinks open around her. Even though she's nice, do I believe that she would do anything to harm me? No, I don't believe she would. Just by instinct, you know what I'm saying? But I still really don't know her. And then sometimes, let me tell you something. Some of these females are married. She could be married. Some of these women have married men. And they will never tell you nothing about it. I'm going to share, maybe next week I'm going to share another story I heard of a man that was dating a woman in Cartagena. He was dating a woman in Cartagena and found out that she had a married man. She was married. Yep. And he was providing for her and the married man, but he didn't know he was providing for the married man. Yep. You're right, Marcus.
Her eyes lit up. You'd do that? Fletcher, this could be our business.
Yeah.
Our
right.
life together.
Yeah, life together.
That
What?
night, I transferred $50,000 to her business account.
Oh, no.
It felt like the most natural
Oh,
thing in the
my
world.
God.
We were partners now, building.
You hear that? I can't believe he actually he transferred $50,000 just like that. $50,000. Oh my God! I'm not trolling anybody, but $50,000 to somebody that you don't even know. I find, you know what? What's so fascinating about this? The reason why I keep talking about this happens a lot in Thailand, especially. And I don't know why. I don't. If there's some type of supernatural force in Thailand to make these men do that? Do these women have some type of hypnosis that they put these men in and they do this? There's no way I'm gonna send $50,000 to somebody who I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yep, she only met her. He told her in a short period of time, and already he gave a chick 50. Yep, 50 grand. He sure did, Wacky World. Yep, 50 grand, $50,000. And what's so bad about it? I'm just reading here that Verizon is getting ready to lay off 13,000 people. I don't know if y'all heard about this. This is in the news. They get ready to lay off 13% of their workforce. And thousands of people are getting laid off as we speak. Matter of fact, there's a plant here in Detroit that's getting ready to lay off 200 people. They're cutting back everywhere. People, you need your money for rainy days. Because I guarantee you, when you lose your job, when you can't pay your rent, when you become evicted, none of those women are going to be found anywhere. They don't care. They don't care if you get kicked out. They don't care if you lose your job. They don't care. I've seen people get thought. Well, I live in an apartment complex too. Watch that. These people don't play. First of the month, rent is due. 5 days late, $75 late fee. They don't want to hear those stories. Oh, I got laid off. I lost my job. They laid me off. They may pat you on the back for a minute, but you better have that rent paid. You better have that mortgage paid. Let me see. I wouldn't even send that much. Even $100 to my may send $1, maybe that. Let me see. President Attorney, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but it means it seems like that they don't give a damn about what they lose or they must the door. They don't care. They don't care, Marcus. I said this before. They rate you as a 0. They rate you as a 0. When they take $50,000 from you, they don't lose no sleep about it. They don't lose nothing. She probably gonna take that $50,000 and take $25,000, buy her boyfriend a new car.
Something meaningful together. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity. Apinya introduced me to government officials, potential partners, local business people. We visited properties that could serve as our headquarters, inspected vehicles for our transport fleet, met with marketing consultants who specialized in Australian tourism. Everyone seemed to know her, respect her. The officials spoke to her in rapid Thai, but she'd translate everything for me, explaining the licensing process, the regulatory requirements, the competitive landscape. Fletcher is my Australian partner, she'd say proudly. He understands the mining industry, the remote work culture. He knows what Australians really want when they come to Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
I felt important, valued, part of something bigger than myself. Back in Darwin, I was just another crane operator. Here,
So it took you to feel better for yourself to send $50,000 to feel good about yourself. Wow. I think some of these guys need some counseling, man. Some of these brothers need some counseling. In those countries, if you are rated as a 0, will be able to stay there and meet better people to get up ranking. These dudes wanted delusional love and the first sight, shaking my head. Yeah, it's delusional love. See, there's a difference between, remember I told you guys, I don't know if y'all watched my other videos, there's a difference between an illusion and a delusion. An illusion is images that they send you. You remember? We talked about this. Illusions are images that they want you to believe in. That's all she's doing. She's creating illusions to this man. Say, oh, we're gonna build a business together. Oh, we're partners together. Oh, I want you to sit down with my board of directors or my partners on this project and everything. Those are images of illusion. But the difference between an illusion and a delusion, the delusion part comes in is when you actually believe it. That's the delusion. He's living in a delusion where he actually believed that this woman was everything that she said that she was. That's the delusion. That's a delusion.
I was an international business partner, someone with valuable insights and connections. But then the emergencies started.
Uh-oh.
My father's in hospital.
Uh-oh.
Apina told me one morning, tears in her eyes. He's had a heart attack.
Oh.
The doctors say he needs surgery, but
Uh-oh.
the insurance doesn't cover it.
Oh, boy.
My family's asking me to pay. She showed me the hospital bills, $15,000 for emergency cardiac surgery.
$15,000. Now she's in crisis mode. That happens almost every single time. Every single time. What do you expect? Sometimes dating those women in Sasua or Colombia or whatever it is, they go into crisis mode. I get that all the time. Oh, my dog fell off the stairs. Oh, I slipped down the stairs. Oh, I'm at the hospital. My grandma just had cardiac surgery. Oh, the doctor said I have breast cancer. Oh, I have heard every story up under the sun. I have heard every story under the sun. When they are in crisis mode, run. Because I'm going to tell you something. You cannot fix nobody's problem. That's a delusion. When you think that finances or your financial situation can solve their financial situation, that is a delusion. I cannot fix Colombia. I cannot fix the economy down there. I cannot make you go get a job. I cannot do that. I cannot solve all your financial problems. And for some reason, there are foreigners and passport bros that think they can solve all these women problems. You can't solve their problems because it's going to always. You know what? I guarantee you. I know I'm telling the truth. If you sent $1 million to them, $1 million, they will spend it all and then come back asking for more. Let me see and read some of these comments. What is the oldest trick in the classic crisis line? Yup, the crisis line. You're absolutely right. I heard that's a crime in Thailand, faking an emergency. They don't care. She just committed a crime. Yeah, because she's a criminal. That's why. Criminals don't care, Marcus. We are not God and create spells. Only thing we can do maybe is advise if they are willing to listen and change. With 99% they will. No, most of the time they will not change. No. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. It's not.
The documents looked official, complete with medical terminology and hospital stamps. I can't ask you for money. she said.
Oh, here we go.
You've already invested so much in our business, but I don't know what else to do. Of course I helped. This was the woman I loved, the woman I was building a future with.
A future.
Her family emergency was our family emergency.
Oh, God.
Then it was the business license deadline. They're requiring an additional deposit, she explained. Something about foreign investment regulations. If we don't pay $25,000 by tomorrow, we lose everything we've put in.
You hear that? You got to see that. He already gave her $50,000. Now she's asking for $25,000 more money. So not only did he lost $50,000, now he's getting ready to pay another $25,000. Wacky World TV. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at this guy, but I'm laughing at you, Wacky World TV. You say a sucker is born every day. Yes, it is. But this is tragic, though. This is tragic because it takes the money that he saved. It took him about 30 years to save it. And he's losing it all within a matter of days. Okay? Let me see. There are plenty of women in those countries that can be open to different social circles, unlike America or Canada or UK. There are social circles that are close off and isolated. Stop this scarcity. Stop the scarcity. Yeah, scarcity. Yeah. I hear you, Jay.
The requests kept coming. Vehicle deposits,
Kept coming.
marketing advance payments,
Yep.
equipment purchases.
Yep.
Each time, Apina would show me official-looking documents, explain the urgent circumstances, promise that this was the last major expense before we could start operating.
Wow.
Once we're licensed and running, she'd say, we'll be making $20,000 a month. This is just the startup phase. My friends back in Darwin started expressing concerns. Mate, you've been gone 4 months, my best friend Craig said during a video call. When are you coming back? And what's...
Okay, his friends know that something is wrong. They haven't heard from him in 4 months and they know something is going on, so they got worried about him.
This about a business in Thailand. It's not just a business, I told him. It's my future. Apanya and I are building something incredible together. Just be careful, Fletch. You barely know this woman.
You heard what he
But I
said?
did know her.
You heard what he said? He said, be careful because you barely know this woman. That's his friend telling him in Australia. Say, you barely know this woman. And that's what I'm saying. He said $50,000, and I think he's getting ready to send another $25,000 payment to a scam.
Spent every day together, talked about everything, our childhoods, our dreams, our fears. She'd tell me about growing up in rural Thailand, about her family's struggles, about her determination to succeed despite limited opportunities. You're the first man who's ever believed in me, she'd say. In Thailand, men don't take women's business ideas seriously. But you see
See how good she is? See how she flatters him? See, they use this thing. These women like that, these criminal women, they're very good with flattery. Oh, most Thai men down here don't do that. You are a real man. See, she's affecting his manhood now. She's complimenting him about his manhood, his ego. Yeah, the men here in Thailand, they don't do that. Yeah, they don't know how to treat a woman. But you are different. You're much more different than they are. See, they flatter. That's nothing but flatter. She's sending all that flatter, making you feel good about yourself. You know.
my potential. 5 months into our relationship, Apina planned the most romantic evening of my life. She took me to a private beach resort, decorated with flowers and candles,
Oh boy.
with a traditional Thai dinner prepared by a local chef. Fletcher, she said as we sat on the beach under the stars, I want to spend my life with you.
Oh boy.
Will you marry me?
Will you marry
She'd
me?
had a ring Medea simple band with our initials engraved in Thai script. It wasn't
Wait a
expensive,
minute,
but it was thoughtful.
hold on. You
Personal.
just met this girl. You already talking about for her to marry you? You don't even know this woman, and already she's asked her to marry you. He should have ran there, man. He should have took off. But it's too late. He already got what, $50,000 now. I think he paid $25,000 more.
I want to marry you too, I said, and I meant it completely.
Oh God.
We started planning our wedding immediately.
Oh no.
A ceremony in Thailand, followed by a reception in Darwin for my family and friends. She wanted to do everything properly, meeting my parents, learning about Australian culture, getting the appropriate visas. I'll need to travel to Darwin for the visa application, she said, and we should probably...
You see what she was doing? She was cooking up something even worse. She wanted to marry him. So that means not only did she conned him out of the $50,000, and the 15, I think he paid $25,000 more. He paid this woman thousands of dollars. And then if he would have married her, then she could have divorced him and take all of his assets. Then she would have been able to take his house, take his cars, take everything from him.
Probably have some money set aside for the wedding expenses, for moving costs.
Yeah, this is true, Marcus. I can't believe it either, but it's true.
I transferred another $40, zero for wedding preparations and her visa application. We were going to be married in 3 months, and I wanted everything to be perfect. But then the inconsistencies started. One evening, I overheard her on the phone speaking rapid Thai.
Here we go.
The tone was different, sharp, businesslike, nothing like the gentle way she usually spoke. When I asked who she was talking to, she said it was her mother discussing wedding preparations. Your mother speaks very assertively, I joked. Thy mothers are very, commanding about weddings, she replied, but something in her expression seemed off. Another time I found her crying while looking at her phone. What's wrong? I asked. Just family drama, she said, quickly putting the phone away. My sister is having problems with her husband, but I'd caught a glimpse of the screen. It was a banking app, and the numbers I saw didn't match what she'd told me about her family's financial situation. I started paying closer attention. Her stories about her childhood didn't always align. Sometimes she said she was the youngest of 3 children.
Okay, now he's starting to pick up on some of the inconsistencies. And that's another thing that happens when a con artist try to con you, or you're in a situation when you're with a female and she's trying to scam you. Like I said, this is a real romance scam. This is an example of a real romance scam because you're actually there with the scammer. You're actually interacting with the scammer. You're actually sleeping with the scammer. Okay? So sometimes what happens is they begin to leave a trail. The little things start to pop up and things. You'd be like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Then it's like reality start, like things are starting to warn you a little bit. Say, wait a minute, some of this stuff is not adding up. Wait a minute, you said that you was this, and you say you had a sister, but you didn't have, that's when you start getting that gut feeling like something's not right.
Sometimes the middle child. Her university degree was in hospitality management, but once she mentioned studying business administration, when I asked about these inconsistencies, she'd become emotional.
There you go.
Why are you questioning me?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you trust me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were building a life together. The emotional manipulation was subtle but effective.
Mm-hmm.
She'd make me feel guilty for having doubts, remind me of everything we'd planned together.
Now she's playing mind games. You see what they do? This is what they do. They use psychological warfare. They're using a mind game, making you feel guilty, even because what happens is you're beginning to kind of understand that, wait a minute, something here is not really adding up. Something is not right. And see, people are going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. They can't be perfect all the time. And she was starting to make mistakes, and he began to like say, okay, this doesn't make any sense. So what she do is she used reverse psychology on him, making him feel, oh, you don't trust me, oh, you don't love me, okay, make you feel guilty, so you won't be,
Talk about how hurt she was that I didn't believe in our love. Maybe you're not ready for marriage,
oh,
she'd say.
oh boy.
Maybe you're too scared to commit to someone who really loves you. I'd end up apologizing, reassuring her, promising to be more trusting. The pattern repeated every time I raised concerns.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest red flag came when I asked to meet her family properly.
Uh-oh.
We'd had video calls with people she said were her.
That's it. That's the ultimate red flag there. If you've been dating a female and y'all serious, and she don't want you to meet the family, that's no good.
Parents. But I wanted to visit them in Nakhon
Because she's married.
to
That's
understand
why.
her background better. They're very traditional, she said. They don't feel comfortable meeting you until after we're married. It's a cultural thing. That seemed odd. Every other Thai person I'd met was incredibly welcoming to foreigners. But again, she made me feel like questioning her was questioning our entire relationship. Then came the final request, the one that should have been impossible to ignore. Fletcher, I have incredible news, she said, barely able to contain her excitement. Remember that major investor I mentioned?
Oh boy.
The one who might back our tourism company?
Here we go.
I remembered.
Mm-mm.
She'd mentioned him several times, a wealthy Thai businessman who made his fortune in international trade.
All right.
He wants to meet with us. He's interested in investing $500, in our company, but he needs to see that we're serious, that we have sufficient capital to handle the expansion. She showed me.
Wait a minute. You already invested $50,000. How much more money do you need to invest? If investing $50,000 is not serious, I don't know what a serious is. Oh my God.
Documents, investment proposals, market projections, partnership agreements. Everything looked professional, detailed, legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
He wants us to demonstrate our commitment by depositing $120,000
Oh,
into an escrow
wow.
account. It's not money we'll lose, it's just to show that we're serious investors.
So now she's asking for $120,000 more. Oh my God, this is a disaster. I can't believe this. This sounds fake, but it's not. This is not, guys. This is not fake. This actually really happened. She's asking for another $120,000. Don't forget, he already gave $50,000, and he paid $15,000 for the grandfather for his medical bills. Remember? Now she's asking for 100. How can something like this happen? Please, somebody tell me. How can something like this happen? I know this is crazy. It just don't. It's just like, oh my God. But this is real. It happens all the time. And this happens more frequently than you think. And I'm here doing this content because I don't want this to happen to nobody, man. Nobody shouldn't have to go through this. Lord, nobody shouldn't have to go through this. I love you guys. I do. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all that this is the Truth Channel. If anything seems to be good to be true, it usually always is. Always remember that. I'm 61 years old. If anything is too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. And I'm going to tell you this. If you are in a relationship with a female, a foreign female, whether she's here, from over there, or wherever she is, if it starts off her needing financial support, leave her alone. It's not going to end well. It's not. It's never going to end. It's never, never, never going to end. She's going to keep asking money from you over and over and over and over again. And that money that you're sending to them, that money that you're sending to them could pay for your retirement. You could pay your house off. You could pay your bills. You could pay your debt off. Mark can say, even though it is fake, we can learn from this. Absolutely, we can learn from this, but this is horrible. And let me tell you, listen, we're almost at the end. And this part is cold-blooded. What you get right here now is cold-blooded, what she does. This is not fake. This actually happened. And some of them, they lose their whole retirement and they become homeless in Thailand. They become homeless. If you don't believe me, ask Richie Mack. They become homeless. And then their families have to come down there and get them and bring them back. Because a lot of them have so much pride until they can't even fathom of this happening. That's why you've been hearing about, like I've been telling y'all, there has been multiple suicides in Thailand. People jumping off the balconies. Because when you found out that you lost $280,000, just like that, some people, they can't handle that. They can't handle that. That's too much.
There's not just dreamers. The documentation looked official. Bank letterheads, legal language, government stamps, but something felt wrong.
Uh-oh.
Why does he need to see our money? I asked.
Yeah.
If he's investing $500,000, why does our $120,000 matter? It's about trust, she explained. In Thai business culture, partnerships require mutual commitment. He needs to know we're not just looking for easy money. Every instinct I had was screaming at me to say no. But I was so deep into this relationship, so invested emotionally and financially, that backing out felt impossible. This is our chance, Apina said, taking my hands. Our chance to build something incredible together. With his investment, we can expand beyond tourism, hotels, restaurants, real estate. We could be millionaires within 5 years.
Yep, there you go.
I stared at the documents.
Delusion.
At her hopeful face. At the life we'd planned together.
Right.
$120,000 was nearly everything I had left.
Wow.
If this went wrong, I'd be financially destroyed. I trust you.
He's giving his last. He's going to give his last $120,000. Let me see. But to close off Western women, if she says to talk to me, I need 20 cash up like some of these goofy females, Mark or on trash or smack and say they get lost. Yeah, tell me get lost. But guys, the part that I'm trying to get you all to understand is this is very mysterious. Because in their native country that they're from, they don't make these type of mistakes. At least I don't think they do. But the FBI says over $1.5 billion are lost annually on romance scams. The FBI, United States government, FBI says over $1.3 billion is lost every year in romance scams.
I said, and transferred the money. For 3 days, everything seemed normal. We celebrated our upcoming partnership, talked about hiring employees, planned our expansion strategy. Apina was more affectionate than ever, constantly talking about our future together. Then, on a Tuesday morning, I woke up to find her gone.
Wow.
Not just gone from the hotel room, gone completely.
You hear that? Gone. She's gone. He woke up one day and she was gone. Just like that. Just like that. She disappeared. Nothing.
Her clothes, her documents, her personal belongings. The only thing left was a note. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
God.
never meant for it to go this far.
Left him
I
a
called her
note.
phone. Disconnected. I went to the business offices we'd
Yep.
visited. Empty. The addresses on the investment documents led to vacant lots or businesses that had never heard of her. I spent the next week in a panic, contacting Thai police,
Yep.
Australian consular services, private investigators. Slowly, the truth emerged. The government officials we'd met, paid actors, the business licenses,
Wow.
forgeries,
Forgeries.
the hospital bills for her father, fake.
Wow.
Even some of the family members I'd met were
Everything
hired to
was
play
fake.
roles. The sophisticated woman with university education and international business experience, she dropped out of high school at 15 and had been running romance scams for nearly a decade.
Wow.
The Thai police were...
You hear that? She's been doing this for a decade. See, she studied him. She studied him before she went for. She probably took his picture and had some professionals to run a background check on him. Somehow she got some information on him and she studied everything about this guy before she ran the scam. Because the first thing he should have realized, how does she know so much about Australia? A Thai woman know that much about Australia, and she's never even been there before.
Sympathetic but useless. This happens all the time, the officer told me through a translator. Western men come here with money, fall in love quickly, don't ask enough questions.
Yep.
But I did ask questions, I said. I saw documents, met people,
Nope, all of
visited
it was fake.
offices. Sir, he said gently, she's very good at what she does. You're not the first, and you won't be the last. The Australian consulate was equally unhelpful.
Nope.
We can file reports, but recovering money in cases like this is virtually impossible.
Yep.
Thai authorities don't have the resources to pursue international fraud cases, especially when the victim willingly transferred the money. I'd lost $285,000. Nearly everything I'd saved over 15 years of grueling mining work.
It took him 15 years to save up that money. He said, why didn't she get a lawyer? That's why I said, that's why I said, Marcus, he never even got a lawyer or did a background check. Nothing. When you're moving that much money around, you always should get a background check. He could have contacted a lawyer in Australia. Say, hey, this person want me to invest in their business. Can you do a background check and see if all this is legit? I still wouldn't have did it even if it was legit.
I had enough money left for a plane ticket home and maybe 2 months of living expenses. The flight back to Darwin was the longest 12 hours of my life. I had to call my parents, my friends, my former employer. I had to explain how someone supposedly intelligent enough to operate heavy machinery had fallen for such an elaborate con. Craig picked me up from the airport. One look at my face, and he knew everything. How bad? He asked. Everything, I said. I lost everything. He didn't say, I told you so. He didn't lecture me about being naive or desperate. He just drove me home and helped me figure out how to rebuild my life. Getting back into mining work was humiliating. Word had gotten around the crane operator who'd blown his savings on a Thai woman. Some guys were sympathetic, others made jokes. All of them looked at me like I was an idiot. But
Yep.
slowly, I started understanding how it had happened. The isolation of mining life had made me desperate for connection. The money I'd saved had made me feel invulnerable. The cultural gap had made it easy for her to manipulate my perceptions. Most importantly, I realized that Apina had been running a sophisticated psychological operation.
Yep.
She'd studied my vulnerabilities,
Yep.
my loneliness,
Yep.
my desire to feel important, my eagerness to build something meaningful. Every conversation, every romantic gesture, every business proposal had been carefully designed to exploit those weaknesses. The business documents were elaborate fakes, but they were professionally done. The government officials were actors, but they were convincing. The family emergencies were lies, but they were emotionally compelling. She'd invested months in building credibility before asking for serious money. It wasn't a simple bar girl scam. It was a long-term psychological manipulation campaign designed to extract maximum money from a specific target. I spent months in therapy trying to understand how I'd been so completely deceived. The therapist helped me see that intelligent people are often the easiest targets for sophisticated cons because they believe they're too smart to be fooled. You saw red flags, she said, but you rationalized them away because you wanted the relationship to work. That's not stupidity, that's human nature. 18 months later, I'm back on my feet. I'm working again, saving money, being more careful about who I trust. I've even started dating again, though I'm much more cautious now. But I still think about Apina sometimes. Not with anger, I've moved past that, but with a kind of professional respect. She was incredibly good at what she did. The planning, the execution,
She was a
the
liar.
psychological manipulation, it was
Just a liar.
masterful. I've learned to spot the warning signs now. When someone seems too perfect, too interested in your money, too eager to move fast, those are red flags. When business opportunities require immediate action, when family emergencies coincide with financial requests, when someone gets emotional every time you ask questions, those are manipulation tactics. Most importantly, I've learned that loneliness makes you vulnerable to people who promise to fill that void. If you're isolated, desperate for connection, and have money to spare, you're a perfect target for someone like Apanya. The Thai police eventually caught her, but not because of my case. She'd been running the same scam on multiple Western men simultaneously,
Wow.
and one of them had connections in the Thai government. She's serving a 5-year sentence now, but the money is gone forever. I don't regret going to Thailand. I don't regret being open to love. I don't even regret taking risks for what I thought was a genuine relationship. But I do regret ignoring my instincts when the evidence was staring me in the face. I regret letting loneliness override common sense. I regret believing that someone who barely knew me could love me enough to build a life together. If you're thinking about moving to Thailand, about finding love overseas, about investing in foreign business opportunities, go ahead. But do it with your eyes open. Ask hard questions. Verify everything independently. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong. And remember, if someone promises you forever, make sure they're not planning to disappear with your money instead. The best relationships are built slowly, with mutual respect and genuine compatibility. They don't require massive financial investments or urgent decisions. They don't involve constant emergencies or emotional manipulation. They certainly don't end with you flying home broke, wondering how you could have been so foolish. But sometimes, you have to lose everything to learn what really matters. And for me,
Yep, that's it. That's it. She plays a very dangerous game for herself and for men. They don't care. They don't care. They do not care. And believe me, she's not losing no sleep. She's been doing this for over 10 years. And this happens all the time. Maybe not on the grand scale of losing 200,000, but there are men right now that are being, I know that are being scammed. You got Western Union Pookies right now sending money to these girls every week, and they're just using them. So, all right, guys. Anybody got any more questions before I disappear? Thank you all for coming, man. Appreciate it. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, okay? Yeah, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. But one good thing out of this, he have his life. It could have been worse. It could have been much worse. I've heard stories of people actually being kidnapped, and the kidnappers ask you to send the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've heard stories about people actually getting kidnapped. He could have been kidnapped. You got international crime rings that they will kidnap you. When they know you got $200,000, they could have took him somewhere. You remember the Asian guy in Medellin? You met that girl? Well, she really wasn't a girl, but I mean, well, I don't want to get into that. But his girlfriend set him up and unalived him. And that was a smaller amount. That was for $2,000. So at least he got his life. At least he has his life. Yep, 2 years ago, right, Jay? 2 years ago. Matter of fact, Obi-Land did a video on that. And he visited her. He visited her multiple times. He was going back and forth to Colombia multiple times to see her. Sometimes they may not get you the first time. Sometimes they may not even get you the second time. And sometimes they may not even get you the third time, but they might get you the fourth time. And they got him. And it was tragic. So this could have been much worse. At least he got his life. Okay, guys, make sure do a favor for me. Yeah, Zil Shane. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, he was he knew U.S. senators. He sure did. He sure did. But he made himself a target too. There's some things that he was doing that brought unwanted attention on himself. Yep. So, all right, my brothers and sisters, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will be back on again. So maybe I'm trying to think when the next time I'm coming back on here. I'll probably be back on here. See, this is Tuesday. But you guys be eating turkey on Thursday. I'm gonna try to come back on here on Friday. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this live tonight. And when I come back on the next live, I have some very devastating news I'd like to talk to you guys about, okay? Okay, love you all very much. Okay? Have a great, 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 great Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. I will be cooking tomorrow. Peace to you. Peace and blessings to all of you all. God bless. Thank you. Thank you.